You know, it is strange, but not surprising, when listeners or viewers hear the voice of the 25th Prime Minister of Australia from 1996 to 2007, John Howard. They always tell me how reassured they feel. It's because I think John Howard, as a politician and a leader, always sought to take the people with him. He never arrogantly assumed he knew everything. He was a wonderful thinker, but, most probably more important, a great listener and learner, hence his political success. I might add, he is now a splendid historian. His Lazarus Rising and A Sense of Balance are compulsory reading if you want to understand something of Australian political history. Pleasingly, John Howard joins me tonight. Mr. Howard, thank you for your time. I still think of you as Prime Minister. We should maintain the honorific, but we don't do that in Australia. Just the first question, how do you think Australia is managing at the moment?
Well, I think Australia will always manage well because it's a great country with great people. We, of course, could have a better government. I don't think this government has worked out what it wants to do with the economy. We've had 2 goes at a budget, and normally after you've been in opposition for years and you get into government, you've got a lot of things you want to do to fix things up, so to speak. That hasn't happened, and I still don't have a clear idea of where Mr Albanese and Mr Chalmers want to take this country. I do know, incidentally, that they want to hand over a lot more power to the union movement on the shop floors of Australia and industrial relations. I think that is very depressing, but I don't have a very clear idea of what the answer of the government is to the housing challenge. And we always have a housing challenge, but it's as plain as a pikestaff that the problem with housing in Australia is the supply of available housing, and that is largely in the hands of state and local government. And if we had less green tape, less red tape, less regulation, fewer restrictions, and therefore we encourage developers to develop properties and to market them in a manner that is accessible to the average person, we might do a little better. But instead of that, we talk about silver bullet solutions. Now, I'm in favour of having social housing or housing commission properties, as they used to be called in Sydney many years ago. There's a place for them, but there's also a place, a much bigger place, for a market that puts housing within the reach of ordinary people, irrespective of where the interest rates may be.